Hi everybody, my name is Beatrice. I'm 17 years old and I'm from SMK Section 4 Bandar, Kinrara. It happened when a few weeks ago where I came into school and I was expecting a normal school day. What happened was I found out that my friend, he's having depression and insomnia. He has been absent for 2 weeks and he came back that day. When I first saw him, I really had the urge to really go and pray for him. So I went over and my first attempt was failure because I stood up and I wanted to go over and pray for him, and I heard his friends saying in a really loud voice. They said, there's no psychiatrist that can help you right now. There's not even a God that can help you. You only depend on yourself. And immediately I sank back into my seat and I was telling God, I said, God, I want to pray for him, but if you want me to, you have to make him meet me after recess. Like, stay back a little later. Recess came and he left earlier. Then I was like, shocked and sendiri. I said, oh yes, it's not today. And as I was heading towards the library, I bumped into him. And it wasn't coincidental. I knew that it was God, and I went into the library and pulled him out, dragged him out somehow. And I started praying for him. I asked him if he wanted a prayer. He said he was shocked, but he didn't refuse. So I was praying halfway for him, praying for peace and for sleep. And his friend came out to see what he's doing. And he saw me praying halfway and he started commenting. He said, why are you praying for him? If it had worked, he had tried all the methods that he could. And I kept on praying. I did not stop because I knew that somehow if God wanted to do something, he would do something. I finished my prayer and said thank you, and I went back to class. And immediately when I reached the class, I had an impression that I should write a letter to him. And the letter was really clear. It needed two things. Number one, it needed God loves you. And number two, it needed a verse from Psalms. I was saying to God, I said, God, you're asking me to write a letter to a stranger? And then God loves you is okay if it's in just a verse inside the card, but then a verse from Psalms. And I don't have any clue which verse is it. I told my friend about this. I said, what do you think about this? I asked Daryl, a new believer, and he said, well, Beatrice, you think it's from God, right? And I nodded my head, and he said, well, what do you got to lose? So I looked at him and said, this is bizarre. And I wrote the letter. I wrote it, and I left a blank space for that verse. The first thing that popped up once I opened the Bible, I didn't really have to even look far for it. It was Psalms 4 verse 8, I will lie down and sleep in peace, for you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. And it just showed me how God actually would provide for you if you really just take a step to do it. I passed the verse to him and I prayed really hard for that day and the day after that. The next day he didn't come to school. I thought, what happened? The following day when I asked him, he said, yeah, Beatrice, your method worked and I slept well that night and I didn't really wake up for a really long time. He usually wakes up at least 6 to 7 times a night. And for that night, he did not wake up. It was a sound sleep. I believe God will be challenging us with lots of things, and a lot of things that they are quite bizarre. But if you're really going to do it, you're going to see bigger change to come.